Welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Sarah Bernard, and still with me in the studio is Chris Clark, who is the Artistic Director of Cinema St. Louis. And Cinema St. Louis is an organization that brings together filmmakers from the area and promotes the film world, which is an amazing, wonderful thing for all of us to benefit from. And this weekend is the 12th annual Whitaker St. Louis Filmmakers Showcase. Yes. And just looking through this program, I want to give up the next 5 days of 100-degree weather and sit at the Tivoli and watch these movies.
We feel that you should.
I know, me and all my friends, right? You've got a great lineup. So tell us about some of the features and excitement that we can expect this weekend.
You know, like I said, this year's showcase, there are 96 films participating, and that goes from a 1-minute short up until like 2-hour feature-length films. Some of the highlights, though, are some of the narrative features, you know, many of which have been at work for several years. Opening weekend, we have a film called Casualties of the State that literally has been in the works for about 4.5 years. And there's an image from the film there.
So 4.5 years.
It's a political thriller. It's a little under 2 hours, about 104, 105 minutes. But they've been working on this film for a long time. Sometimes these things take time to.
Sure.
Even when you're finished with the photography, you have to do editing and sound mixing and stuff like too. And sometimes you need a few extra dollars to get all that extra stuff done. Yeah. So they've been patiently waiting for this day, and a lot of people are very excited to have.
So this is a good movie. You've seen it, obviously.
Yes.
And, yeah. So one to look forward to. Yeah.
Lots of documentaries, one of which is called Strings of Imagination, which is a delightful 1-hour documentary about our good friends down the West End, Bob Kramer's Marionettes. Right. Where, you know, many of us over the years have seen, there's some of the puppets there. Yeah. Many of us have seen the shows over the years, but this is a behind-the-scenes look at the puppeteers and the residents there make their own puppets and make all their own parts from just a little pile of rubbery goo, and then they shape these faces and make all these interesting characters and write their own shows. And they're all self-taught. No one taught them how to make a marionette or make a puppet. They figured it out on their own, and they had this wonderful, kooky, weird, adorable institution for a very long time.
And we've all been there.
Yes.
And how great to see how it all comes together. I mean, that's a story that deserves to be on screen.
Just down in their little workshop, happy as can be, you know, making these things. And it takes a lot of little fine-tuning. It's like making a, you know, any kind of model kit, but from zero. I mean, they have to just make the faces, and you know, from nowhere but inside their creative brains.
Yeah. So when is that's this weekend?
That'll be Monday afternoon at 5 o'clock. Okay. One of our documentary programs, and then a lot of people have been waiting also for our big finale on closing night, which will be Thursday the 12th. It's coming up very fast. A feature film shot on the east side in Sauget, Illinois, called Fatal Call. Great filmmaker, local filmmaker Jack Snyder, whose previous film Ghost Image was in this event. Yeah, that's Kevin Sorbo, Hercules, one of the bad guys, obviously, of the film. I don't want to give too much away. But they've been working on that film about a year or two. They just were in the Cannes market, and they have a lot of people interested in this film. And it's one of the better features ever, I think, made by local filmmakers.
So Fatal Call.
Fatal Call,
and that's Thursday. It's your last film?
It's our closing night film right before our big closing night party. And so a lot of people are already clamoring to the box office to get tickets now.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's so exciting. So all the films are at the Tivoli.
Yes.
And then there's also seminars, am I right?
There's a day of free seminars on Saturday, the 7th, in our office building in Grand Center, 3547 Olive Street, the Centene Center for Arts and Education. Okay. And all this information is on our website and in the programs, people can find it. And there are 3 different sections. One, we're going to talk to some of the principals behind the Welcome to Sweetie Pies film about the restaurant, made locally by Cool Fire Media. We're going to have some of our friends from Channel 9 come by. They're doing a 3-hour, on their station over time, they're doing a 3-hour block about Homeland, called Homeland, Immigration in America, about the immigrant experience of the political bent. So we're going to be showing some snippets from that. And then our favorite wacky hometown hero, Jeremy Corey from Cobbler Communications, is going to be showing one of the Voltron.
Those guys are great.
Yes, and they're great promoters and great people, and they've sort of regurgitated this property that Coppola has owned for decades and made a new iteration, a new show, and they've got new base of fans all over the world, and it's all made right here in St. Louis, which is so exciting.
Yeah, and we saw them last fall at the film festival.
Yes.
Yes, great. Okay, so you've got lots coming up, and tickets we can purchase them at the box office. Right? At
Tickets
Tivoli?
are available in a couple different ways. At the Tivoli Theater box office during regular business hours.
Okay.
And online at the Landmark Theater's website, 24 hours a day.
Okay, and cinemastlouis.org, can we get tickets there or just
You
go
can't
there
get tickets there, but there will be links
okay.
and information about how to get that on the St. Louis Filmmaker Showcase page of that website.
Okay, so cinemastlouis.org or Landmark Theaters or Tivoli box office. And you buy tickets, is it on a day pass or?
It's per show.
Per show.
Per show.
Per show. Okay. Very good. So it's a must-see for this weekend, and what a great weekend to be inside
yes.
watching movies,
yes.
right? So you couldn't have planned that better.
Yes.
Either really a lot of heat or a lot of rain, it will drive people into the great films.
The films and the filmmakers are as hot as the weather is outside.
There you go. Perfect reason to be there. So thank you so much for coming, Chris. And we have to come back in the fall and talk about the St. Louis Film Festival, because that's the next big thing after this. I'm sure you're not ready to talk about that just yet.
A little bit, but not today.
Right. So thank you so much for being with us and for all the great information. We need to take a break. When we come back, though, we're going to be talking with Mike Galdoni, who is the director of the film Dignity Harbor, a St. Louis film that is going to show this weekend at the Tivoli. So remember to keep up with STL TV and all the great events going on around St. Louis. Friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can always watch us streaming live on stltv.net. We'll be back with more after this.